Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Liz Eston.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew and Liz to like musical theater. Liz is back! But let's not harp on that too much. We're happy to have her, but applause and all that. We've got to get into this. All three of us, if you would believe it, are getting into a road trip to Oregon.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. We have like an RV or a bus, or
We're
just taking a car? Like, what's going on?
A covered wagon, motherfuckers.
How many windows does this wagon have?
4 windows. And feet holes.
Like the Flintstones?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all different heights. This isn't going to work.
No, you and Andrew are basically the same height, and then I peer over you.
Which actually means he'll be the only one running, because our feet won't reach the ground.
That's true. That's true. That's true. We'll just be floating.
No, Liz is mostly leg. Like,
That is actually true.
I've seen Liz, and one of the most surprising things about her is it's like head, tiny torso, leg.
I have the torso of my torso is a quarter, and the rest of my body is legs. It's
You
weird.
have like Christian Chenoweth's torso.
Well, I'm the opposite. I'm mostly not legs, so I won't be helping at all.
Andrew is mostly torso.
He's mostly. I imagine Andrew is like Mr. Potato Head, or the feet
I'm
just
a
kind of stick
torso
out of his
with
torso.
Little shoes.
I waddle around like a penguin. It's literally true. Call me Danny DeVito.
And also, our ox is coming with us.
How horny
Oh.
is this ox?
Moderately horny, but mostly he wants to be dead, much like myself. Oh, we're talking about Trail to Oregon. Let's go.
Where's that, Dad?
You're in Independence, welcome to the city so pleasing that everyone's leaving. Fuck it, go west, watch your backs. The city is bustling with all kinds of hustling and grit. Go west for independence. Here are just a few things you should know. Stay on the trail or you might get lost. Don't pay the toll, not worth the cost. Marry rich so you don't die poor. A banker's best, but you might die bored and independent.
The Trail to Oregon is a musical written by Jeff Blim, Nick Lang, Matt Lang, with music and lyrics by Jeff Blim and Drew DeFore, based on the Oregon Trail video game. The musical was performed between July 3rd and August 10th of 2014 at the Stage 773 in Chicago, Illinois. It ran for 24 performances and was performed in a repertory with the other Star Kid musical, Annie, both being produced by Star Kid Productions. With only 6 actors, it is the smallest cast of any Star Kid musical to date. The group put on the entire musical the musical went up on YouTube February 14, 2015, and the cast recording is released on the same day. The plot of The Trail to Oregon is an all-American family journeys down the Trail to Oregon. It's an original musical produced by Star Kids Productions and performed in Chicago, blah, 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 blah. It features 12 educational songs, a set precisely replicating the trail's landscape, and appearances from famous historical figures such as Henry McDoom, Cletus Jones, and Cornwallis. All right. So, I feel like this
Those
is...
are just lies.
Yeah.
That whole plot synopsis was just lies.
Yeah,
It's
Cornwallis is
the-
a lobster, man.
It is official. We're gonna have to do a Star Kid ranking at the end of this, aren't we?
We'll have to see if I remember all of them.
I mean,
I'm a little biased too in some regards.
I really like this one. As far as Star Kid musicals go, I think this is probably my favorite or my second favorite for 3 main reasons. 1, it feels like a real musical. It feels small and engaging in that way, and it feels like they had to be creative as opposed to like, we got 500 ensemble members, let's just make them sing. 2, I think that it's just kind of a tighter show. It's like less than 2 hours, which most of these Star Kid shows tend to go toward the 2.5 hour, 3 hour range. And you know what? Having a tight hour 40 was really nice.
That's fair.
And the third reason is I think all the actors are like pitch perfect in it and playing the comedy. I usually like a tiny bit of sentiment in my comedy musicals. I kind of like the fact that this is like, that we're not doing that. We're not touching that. And I also think Trail to Oregon is kind of a much more broader thing to kind of put a narrative onto, as opposed to kind of the strict thing of like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Batman. Like, I feel like they have a little bit more freedom to come up with a creative original story as opposed to all the other things. And I think this kind of set them away from the parody track that they were doing previously to what I think is some of their better work, the Black Fridays, the guy who didn't like musicals, much more original pieces with original characters. And I don't know if we would have gotten that had the other show that also came out around this time, Annie, been the runaway success that I think they were expecting that one to be.
Is this like Star Kids Lion King?
I think so. Or I think it's more Star Kids Shrek.
You think so? I mean, Lion King, wasn't that made by the B studio, and they were expecting the other movie to be the big hit, but then Lion King was actually the real hit?
Yeah, but I think that Lion King is like...
Yeah, Pocahontas was the other one in that. It was Pocahontas and the Lion King made at the same time. And Lion King made billions, Pocahontas no one liked. Yeah.
Yes. But then you've got Prince of Egypt versus Shrek, where everyone that got rejected from Prince of Egypt was forced onto Shrek, and Shrek is more scatological, small, and better for that, and I think that's a more apt comparison here.
Okay, that's fair. Although, unlike the other comparison, both of those are good. Is Annie actually good?
I don't like it.
So maybe Lion King's the better example still.
Annie's like not the same though. I have seen a little bit of it, but it's not
Annie
really
feels more expensive.
It's also like it's not really a traditional musical. It's like a bunch of scenes, and then there's like one Clark sings. I don't want to say this guy's last name for the life of me, so I'm not even try. Clark sings all these songs like periodically throughout it, and Anakin just dances, and that's basically the musical.
The joke is, look at him, he's fat. And I don't like that, and that's like the core of like, what if Darth Vader was just fat?
Yeah. And Jar Jar was there.
And Jar Jar was there, and Star Wars. You like Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
Jess, that's where you're wrong. I actually don't like Star Wars.
And I don't either, and I feel like...
I'm glad that you finally have come around on this, honestly.
Okay, are we going to talk about that? Are we going to unpack how much I just fucking hate Star Wars now?
We've talked about this before, and I've always been like, it's not that good. And now you're finally on board.
I defended and will defend The Last Jedi as being a high-quality film. Somehow, in a Star Wars, they accidentally made art. But now, Star Wars has just become gibberish nonsense. And I just kind of miss when they were movies. And now it's like 500 TV shows, and I don't care. And I'm so bored.
God.
I'm so fucking bored.
That's why I don't watch.
So my thought on Trail to Oregon. I feel like with Star Kid, there's like a high floor but a low ceiling, Like,
elaborate.
Like, the worst Star Kid stuff is usually still like fine. It's like just kind of goofball comedy stuff, but it never really gets great. And I feel like this is as close to the floor as I've gotten.
Really?
I really just didn't really like this one.
Even more than the Harry Potter one, the first Harry Potter one, which was their very first thing.
The Harry Potter one has been completely eradicated from my brain at this point, so I can't really comment on it.
Guess what? We're going to have to do the sequel sometime, and the third one. And guess what? The third one is 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, so that's going to be below the floor, probably.
It's also a borderline staged reading, so it's below the floor.
And it's like with
that'll be good.
Fans in the audience, so they're like screaming every 5 seconds.
Wow, the floor is getting lower as we talk.
At a Harry Potter convention, like it's...
Oh my god, the floor is below the floor.
Nightmare.
I don't even know how that's possible. It had happened, though.
Okay,
but I felt like they were like waffling between whether or not this was a parody of the video game or its own thing. And I didn't really love that. And there was too many jokes that were just, wow, the dad character is just really, really dumb. And that was like, that's the joke, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
It sounds more like a taste thing rather than quality of the content thing.
And that's kind of what I'm saying. I think that the quality is maintained. It's still Star Kid quality. I just don't think I liked it that much.
Mm-hmm. And Liz, what about you?
I've seen Star Kid live twice in my lifetime. Like, I am a fan.
Which shows?
I've seen the guy who didn't like musicals in LA. When I was there interning. I was in the center aisle where they went through the alley. So I experienced that scene directly. And I saw it on their Jangle Ball tour last December. where they did selections of like villain songs, and they did VHS Christmas Carol live.
That would have been nice. Sadly, I live in Michigan, which is like their home state, so it is
it's
literally
really hard to get tickets
impossible
now.
to get anything to them. So yeah, I will never see them live as long as I live in Michigan.
Yeah, I was in Philly, so it's a little easier, even though it was mostly a 13-year-olds at that point. It was like, okay, I'm in my 20s, and I'm about to be at a bar, basically, so, like, I'm gonna drink, and your guy's gonna hang out and be sober. But, yeah, no, I say I am a Star Kid fan. I'm
Right.
quite a fan. I really like Trail Oregon. It's not my favorite in any regard.
What would be your favorite? I feel
Holy
like we
musical
haven't...
Batman.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. We had Sideways on for that episode. That's one of his favorites, too. So you're in good company. I just don't agree.
I'm honored. It was my first one I saw. My best friend introduced me to it my like freshman year of college. I'm very attached to it. We quote to each other all the time, me and my best friend. So it's more sentimental. Quality-wise, I'd say Twisted.
This is all your fault, Jafar.
My fault? How is this my fault and not the thief's?
There wouldn't be any thieves if you fixed the socioeconomic inequality like you promised.
Twisted, I like Twisted. It's 45 minutes too long.
I think Twisted is their best parody one.
Yes, agreed.
Yes. If we're only talking parodies, yes. I don't even consider this a parody because it is more original, and the only thing that I think they really wanted to play with was the choose your own adventure and the different ways that people get hurt, as well as giving the audience participation elements, which I think are really well integrated into it in a way where the actors, it's impressive that they have to change the names of every character every night. I think that's really fun, and that the audience gets to participate in that.
It's cool, though, because of it, they don't include the names of characters in songs very often.
No.
Which makes sense. But they got footage of every single character dying for the ending. Is that because every character got picked, or did they just get, like...
Liz did research on this, so I'm going to let her answer this.
So, I was a longtime fan of Star Kid, and I deeply enjoyed Trail to Oregon. Even their dumb songs, which don't add anything to the plot. I fucking love the dumb songs. I Googled Trail to Oregon Star Kid names Reddit, which I thought would dive me into a strange part of the internet. And I found a Tumblr link of someone recording every name from the productions that they could grab. So
okay.
These are archived on Tumblr. It's like talkingoregon.tumblr.com if you're curious. You're going to read the whole thing.
Tumblr is the place I would go to get information about a Star Kid show.
100%. That is where Star Kid lives, continues to live. But yeah, some of the names include like Zachary or Albert Hitchcock. And then there's like Buttwang or Cthulhu.
John Stamos. Guantanamo
Jackson. Douche Canoe.
I like Guantanamo Jackson. That one's kind of good.
Omar from The Wire. That is a full name. Cock Chopper. Dick Fingers. Thunder Cunt. Boomerang. And Banana. That was all one night.
So what day did they actually shoot the main version of the show?
They filmed on July 26th of 2014. Okay. They filmed 2 endings for YouTube that night.
And then they filmed the next 3 endings the next night on Sunday the 27th.
The names are unknown that day, though. So it's a mystery what the names were.
What names of the characters died. But so, they couldn't keep all the audience there all night, but they knew that they'd have to shoot over 2 nights.
Yeah. My personal favorite is Danny DeVito as the dad. Just also, someone named the grandpa Jeff Blim within like the first 3 nights.
You could tell that there was a lot of fans, and during interviews they brought up they did have, if they just didn't hear a name they like, their own like names that they would have just in case they're having an off night and they feel like they're not going to be able to do it. So they have like the rehearsed joke names that they'd go with. Apparently they never used those. But
they say they never used those.
They never used them.
They don't want to make the audience feel bad by being like, well, on this day, the audience really sucked, so we used our
we used Twat Waffle. Real name.
I would name my child Twat Waffle. I hope they'd live up to the name.
Actually, that was the dad's name.
Damn. I guess we should really go into what the story... just as much a parody of like road trip movies, like National Lampoon's Vacation, and things like
not
that.
Christmas Vacation.
Not
It's
Christmas
not
Vacation.
a road trip movie.
Christmas Vacation is the only one that isn't a road trip movie, and that's why it's the only good one.
Haven't seen it.
Look, Vacation was okay, kinda.
I don't love Harold Ramis as a director. Fight me, Groundhog Day fans! I'll kill you!
This is actually a lot like the Vacation movies in
Yes,
a way,
it is.
though. It's the old-timey Vacation, if anything.
Yeah.
Less cheating on your wife, though. I did appreciate that the husband and wife, that was never the threat, because that's always a really awkward subplot in those types of stories.
No, it's just Joey Richter in many forms.
Remember when we had Joey Richter on the podcast and he ate through the entire episode and then we got bad reviews for it?
It wasn't even our fault. We couldn't have done anything about it.
I remember it was like our first 50 episodes and he was a good guest. He was fine. But I just still think about that and how he's had a career resurgence and kept doing these things. And our small connection with him is that he ate on our podcast.
And gave us bad reviews.
How
Yep.
dare you.
He's really good in this. It's a well-used Joey Richter in here.
It's my favorite Joey Richter.
Yeah, they don't often give him much to do in these, so this is probably the one where he has the most time to show off.
Yeah. My favorite Lauren Lopez is still the guy who didn't like musicals, but
Understood, but where she actually just gets to play a little bit of the straight man there.
yeah.
But I love her boy performance because it isn't like the go-to kind of. It's very doe-eyed. It's
Reminding
very
me of
strange.
Greg from Over the Garden Wall.
Yes, that is a good comparison.
It was like, oh, this is just Greg, but I love Crap Hole, so I don't care.
So we got Crap Hole, Mouth Face,
Slippery When Wet.
Slippery When Wet, and Jack Bauer, and Titty Mitty.
Yeah.
Titty Mitty was actually a great name. That one was good.
And they're the Dick Rat family.
Like the structure of the show a lot. I like the way it plays out. I actually think it's like one of the most well-constructed Star Kid shows, because Star Kid does this thing a lot where they'll set something up as just a throwaway joke and then make it like real plot later. And that's like their go-to thing where you'll be like, oh, that's ridiculous. And then it's like actually real. And just here, it's so compacted that it just works so much better than it does in all the other overbloated shows where you've almost forgotten, like, what am I seeing right now? Oh, because that throwaway line earlier. That being said, Liz, I know you brought up the songs, the throwaway songs. Bro, these songs ain't great. Jeff Blim
No.
got better, but ugh.
They're not my favorite songs in the Star Kid canon, but
I wouldn't even say there's one that I really, really like. That's how bad. I think this would have probably been a better, more fun play.
They're trying to do a country western sound, but it's just like this corny, like, I don't know.
No, I agree. And it's when they do things that are kind of against the grain, like Wagon on Fire or Dysentery World, where I feel like, okay, this kind of works, but also it just feels so different than everything else that maybe that's the only reason why they stand out to me, rather than me like, oh, I actually like that, or is it just, oh, something different?
Yeah.
And, oh god, yeah. This is very much a freshman endeavor as far as songwriting goes, but I feel like the playwriting and comedy really hits here. And I just like the creativity of it.
I think that the audience participation aspect of it is the part that I liked the most.
Same.
And I kind of wish they did more, but I understand that would be very difficult.
Yeah, but imagine if you took all that effort that was put into the choreography and the songwriting, just put it into like a little bit more like participation, choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, like what if they could actually, like, they had different, like, actual different plot points that could happen based on, like, you tell the dad character you should buy that wagon or this wagon or something like that, you know, and then something later on actually happens that's different.
Or just who the bandits kidnap. Maybe it's the son this time, and it would make you want to see it multiple times, you know?
Yeah.
But I get that would be hard. It would be easier for a live show if that was all you were doing. Harder for a YouTube audience, which is their bread and butter.
And this is back when they were utilizing the link on inside of the YouTube video that was
Remember
removed
that.
as a feature.
Remember annotations? That was fucking great.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a hot take. Annotations sucked.
How dare you?
Like people would just have it pop up in the videos all the time, and like I hated that shit.
Yeah,
I'm with Andrew.
you're both wrong. But also,
Get outta
y'all
here.
weren't really good YouTubers back in the 2010 days.
No, but I watched YouTube. I was a good YouTube watcher, and I hated annotations.
It's a good
Do you know how
YouTube boy.
useful they were? If someone got canceled, you're like, I don't stand by these opinions anymore. Now you gotta take down the whole fucking video.
Now you say in the description or
No
do the
one
I
reads the
thing.
fucking description. They read what's right in front of them. Oh, he's saying really nice things about Kevin Spacey. Time to call him out on Twitter. That was 2014. We didn't know. How about we go on to previews and compare our opinions to those of the real theater critics?
There were real theater critics
There
that
were
reviewed
theater
this.
critics discussing Starkid.
Yes, the ones on Letterboxd.com.
Okay.
That's not a real critic.
Yes, they are. They're the
Okay.
only real critics.
It's time for previews. It's time for previews.
You should have got some like YouTube commenters and be like, "Does
Oh
this
my
have more
god!
thumbs up?"
And Jeff Blim is so cute. Oh my god!
No one thinks Jeff Blim is cute.
What? He's cute in like that, kind of sad, like divorced dad that's trying too hard and overcompensating way.
Jess,
that
you need
cute?
to talk to somebody.
Jess, you're not supposed to love the sad dads.
You're not supposed to
feel
want to
bad for
date
them.
the sad divorced father. You want to help him through his
You're
emotions.
supposed to want to put them out of their misery. You know, like a dog
Or an ox.
with
Her horny ox. I'm a monster.
All right, it's the letterbox game. This is a really depressing episode. We're letting out. 1 star, 5 star. These are real reviews on Letterboxd. Blah 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 blah. Liz, you're first.
Okay.
What?
Got this. 5.
That is correct. Andrew.
yeah.
Fartpeggio.
Oh, Fartpeggio.
That's a great line.
Fartpeggio, that gets a 5 stars.
That is correct.
See, I'm in. I understand the Star Kid mentality. I'm inside the head of every Harry Potter fan when they were 13.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's a really sad.
It's a really sad state of mind to be.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
very
I've been feeling
conflicted
things
now.
lately, so.
How do you feel about the cursed child?
I think that it's a very funny premise.
Well, I have sincerely thought about doing that on this podcast.
Like, am I incorrect? Is this the one where they go back in time and make it so the Twilight guy lives,
Yes.
Yeah.
and he turns out to be the most evil Hitler guy ever because he
No.
lived?
No.
It's he causes the most evil Hitler guy to win.
Ah,
And it's just revealed that Voldemort and Bellatrix had a baby. So Voldemort fucked.
nice. I always assumed that Voldemort, like similar to his nose, his dick is also kind of gone.
But it still has like the 2 holes like his nose.
Do dicks have 2 holes?
Well, no, he has 2 holes specifically. Because it looks like a snake.
Someone make fan art of this. I dare you.
How about we move
All right.
on to the next
What's
one?
the next one?
What's the next one, Jess?
Who's next? I forgot who's.
It's me.
Okay. More fart jokes, please.
1.
That is correct.
Ooh, good guess.
Andrew.
Yep.
I, a 1,000-eyed demon creature, enjoyed watching this family die.
A 1,000 eye. Oh, so like eyes, like many eyes. Okay, I get it. Okay, this is a 5 because they're referencing the show. This is
Yes.
they're the Watcher.
Yeah, the Watcher.
I like that aspect too.
Yeah.
Like that's probably
I
the
love-
reason.
I love
Oh.
the lobster aspect of it all.
Oh, okay. Then how about this one?
I do.
Liz, Grandpa and the lobster should have kissed.
5.
That's a 1.
What?
It's a 1 because they didn't kiss.
They
Yeah.
didn't kiss. That's right. Yeah, I should have thought about that logically. They
All
were
right,
a
Andrew.
cute couple.
Yep,
Crap hole. Yeah, that's me. I'm 7 and I'm male.
that is definitely a line that was in the YouTube version. We're gonna go with a 1 star.
That is correct.
Oh fuck! I just guessed my way into that. Okay.
All right, Liz.
I'm ready.
Titty Mitty is the man.
He is the man. 5.
That is a 1.
Damn.
Andrew.
Yep.
Ridiculous and terrible. I loved it.
In a sane world, this would be a 3 stars. We're going to go with 5. We're going to go with 5.
That is correct. And Liz, last one.
I'm ready.
Cletus.
Cletus Jones killed 3 people. 5.
That is a 1. And Andrew has won the letterbox game today.
I am the Star Kid expert. My head is bigger than all the Harry Potter
He's rubbing
fans.
his nipples. Oh, he's dabbing. And he's flossing.
Yeah. He's doing a dance.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the show, but we've got a shill at you. Today's show is brought to you by extremely kind donations by our donors at Patreon, and we'll go into them and what's going on at Patreon. But Andrew, you and I have to do something really quick.
Oh, what's that?
So a little while ago, I gave ChatGPT the command to make up a Musicals with Cheese episode. And
That was a terrible idea, I'm sure.
it was. And I want us to be able to read that right now. If you wouldn't mind.
Oh, yeah. Is it even anything like our show?
I mean, strangely, it got both our names right and knew that we had cheese ratings.
Oh, okay, I'll take your word for that.
All right, I sent it to you. You got the script? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Liz.
I'm looking at it so they stay on script.
All right, Liz, give us the title.
Title, Musicals with Cheese, episode 105, Unveiling Magic, Enchanted Reverie, intro music playing.
We're going back in time and redoing episode 105.
I don't even remember what 105 was. Probably
I'll
good.
look it up.
Welcome back, Cheeseheads, to another enchanting episode of Musicals with Cheese. I'm your host, Jesse McQueen, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Andrew, the Wizard of Wisdom. How's it going, Andrew?
Damn, I'm the Wizard of Wisdom? That's fucking
You're
incredible.
not saying on script!
I'm doing magical, Jesse. Today we're diving deep into a spellbinding tale that has captured the hearts of audiences around the world. It's time to explore the world of Enchanted Reverie.
That's right, Andrew. Enchanted Reverie is a
Very
contemporary musical that weaves together fantasy, romance, and a touch of comedy, written by the creative duo Samantha Singer and Alex Composer. This musical takes us on a journey to
Very
the end of
cool.
Aloria, where magic reigns supreme.
Absolutely, Jesse. The story follows Ilaria, a young witch with an insatiable curiosity for the unknown. She stumbles upon an ancient spell that transports her to the human world, where she meets the charming but skeptical Daniel. And you know what happens next, right?
Oh, the classic tale of opposites attracting, but with a magical twist. The two worlds collide, leading to a delightful clash of cultures, beliefs, and of course, musical numbers.
The music in Enchanted Reverie is an enchantment in itself. From the soaring ballads like Wings of Desire, where Ilaria expresses her longing to fly, to the toe-tapping ensemble piece Magic in the Air that showcases the chaos of Ilaria's magical mishaps. The score truly transports you to another realm.
And let's not forget about the hilarious sidekicks. Alara's mischievous talking cat Whisker steals the show with his witty one-liners and slapstick humor. I couldn't stop laughing during his solo number, A Catastrophic Day. Don't ask his name, though.
Jesse. But what really sets Enchanted Reverie apart is its exploration of cultural differences.
Oh.
The song Two Worlds Apart beautifully captures the struggle Ilaria and Daniel face as they try to bridge the gap between their worlds.
And that brings us to our cheese rating.
What?
On a scale of Brie, low, to Gouda, high, how would you rate
ruined the cheese rating? No! The whole point is there's no point.
Yes, this is actually making a point to the cheese rating, which is hilarious. How would you rate Enchanted Reverie, Andrew?
Oh, Jesse, this musical is pure Gouda for me. The seamless blend of magic, romance, and humor, along with the catchy tunes, makes it a must-see for any musical theater lover.
I am right there with you, Andrew. Enchanted Reverie earns a Gouda from me, too. It's a whimsical journey that reminds us of the power of imagination and the beauty of embracing the unknown.
And that's a wrap on our review of Enchanted Reverie. Join us next week as we dive into a completely different genre with the rock-infused musical riff off the rails. Until then, cheese out, everyone.
Cheese out indeed. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, stay cheesy and keep the magic alive.
Outro music fades.
I feel like that through the whole thing, you can like picture me and you, like our nose starts bleeding and like.
My first reaction, just texted this to me before he tweeted. My first reaction was like, Andrew would never give anything Gouda. That's ridiculous.
I'd only given things Gouda if I was explicitly being lazy.
Yeah.
And I think I would.
I was about to say, Andrew. The biggest difference is Andrew sounds too interested within
My favorite
that.
is Jesse. Like, oh,
You have never called me Jesse a day in your life, and when you have, it is very uncomfortable for me.
I call you that when you're in trouble.
You really do, though. When you like have to talk to me about something seriously, you say Jesse, and it really fucks with my head. So that was lovely. Our current patrons are Melissa Goldman, Danielle Renix, Jessica Sampidio and Cassidy, Monica Thoreau, Brent Black, Nathaniel Stacey Coombe, Joseph Evans Green, Mary Lou Choquette, John Vanells, Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, Kyle Summers, Jen AC, Scoot the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Liz Lim, Nothing is Certain Except Beth and Taxes, Thesbian, Robert Benjamin, Jessica T, Mitchell Young, Chai Teacup, Chris Marcotte, Kiji Marie Anastasio, RJ Narija, Julia McLennan,
What?
Bjorn Hermans, Toriana Frazier, Sammy the Adequate Amount Jacobson, Lyanna Morton, Kaylee Blazier, Cinemageddon Reviews, Villainous Smith, Sophiana Ali, The Omega Geek, Paige Pearson, Manny Wargol, Elisa Erdman, Anna Loskatova, Sarah Den Blekier, Evan Ball, Zachary Torres, Aurora Marasso, fucking Mara Furloin, Captain Rodtastic, Lisa L, Possessed Washing Machine, Nick Roten, Julia Hardy, Jake Husia, Caitlin Bridgman, Sydney Hicks, and Billy Clifton, Andrew Wright, and the Red Caboose. They all give us money to keep us this show going. But you know what? Who needs us anymore? They can just replace us with AI. They've got it covered. Really, that is an accurate representation of us. And truly, Hollywood should be wasting their money on replacing writers with those.
I think if everything was just written with AI, I mean, the world would just have a lot more great entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, Andrew.
Oh, Jesse.
Oh,
Jesse.
Andrew. It's got to be Gouda for me.
Absolutely, Jesse.
You know what? I can't wait till we get the 1-star review. Like, I can't believe they're supporting AI like this.
We both very much support AI. We want all musicals to be written by AI. We just think that it would be a lot better.
Yeah, and irony just threw out the window because a lot of you don't have basic literacy of media. Let's get back to the show. Let's talk about these songs. How about that? I like the opening number, Gone to Oregon. That's probably my favorite, like, traditional, like, theatery number in the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We stand before the journey that leads us all to Oregon.
To Oregon.
A pioneer adventure down the trail to Oregon.
To
Wisconsin.
Grandpa?
What? My legs hurt.
By God's command, we dare to land in.
Wisconsin.
We're going to Oregon, Grandpa.
I want to go to Wisconsin.
But it's also because it's interrupted in the middle by audience participation stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like the reason I like this song is because they have to sing the silly names. This is one of the few songs where they actually have to sing the names.
Yeah, and they have to adjust based on the situation, and it's fun. Like, this feels like really engaging and kind of sets you up for something you don't really get for the rest of it very much.
Okay, hot take. I'm pretty sure that in our version, one of the characters used one of their rehearsed names,
Why?
and it wasn't called out by the audience. I didn't hear the audience say one of the names at all.
Which name?
Which name?
I don't remember which one it was, but I'm pretty sure. I heard there was a bunch of voices, and then the person just like said a name, and they were just like, "I heard this one."
If I
and they
had to
just
put
said
a guess,
name.
I'd say Mouthface, because that seems like the most normal one.
This is my theory. I think that one of them was her rehearsed name.
I mean, sure. I mean, the pressure of having anything recorded is different. I think I told this on Dear Friends, but I don't think I've ever told it on this show about the time I got yelled at by a grown adult for
Wait, what?
as a child. It went because of a theater show.
Oh, God.
Man, this is probably cringe of me. So there was a line I was supposed to read, and I did it differently every time. I always said the line, I always said all my lines correctly, but this time I said it in a way where it had a different meaning, and the actress across from me, who is the director's daughter, started breaking and started laughing so hard she couldn't get back together, which was a win for me, and I'm just like, the audience is losing their shit. It's a great moment. I got pulled aside and screamed at by her mother because it was the night that they were recording and there was a talent scout for her daughter in the audience. And that was my fault.
You ruined it.
Apparently, I ruined her career. I've not looked into it. Maybe she's got a great career, but I think about that a lot where I'm just like, I'm the comedy guy. It's like, that's my role right here. I'm going to say this line however I can to get a different reaction every night and make it fun for me. But was I in the wrong for that? Now that I've told that long-ass story, did I really deserve to be yelled at by a grown adult?
You did. You ruined that person's career.
That's the way they made it sound.
No, that's ridiculous.
No, it's actually completely untrue, though, because, like, Hugh Jackman, like, you break on purpose all
you're
the
right.
time. Breaking is actually really funny.
It's really good. It's really professional.
Every Debbie Downer sketch ever.
Every sketch with Jimmy Fallon. Every show with Jimmy Fallon on it.
I don't think Jimmy Fallon can break because I don't think Jimmy Fallon is ever in a state where he wouldn't just be laughing randomly.
I don't think Jimmy Fallon is a person. He's a Disneyland animatronic that escaped.
See, now we're talking.
Yeah, that's a theory I can get behind.
I think that is a good theory.
Let's talk about pays to be an animal.
When growing up as a youngin' buck and the daddy act shows you how to cluck, and you talk one day that the clucking comes to an end. Oh, it's glass half full of scotch approach that the mommy cub teaches her goats. If you live or you're shot in the head, it all depends. Sometimes it pays to be an animal, sometimes don't. Sometimes it pays to be an animal, sometimes don't. And when you wake up with blood on your dick, and you don't even know where it came from, sometimes it pays to be an animal, sometimes don't.
Oh, God. This song is so fucking long.
Yeah, it's long. It's not funny. Like, the scene is funny. The song element isn't.
I think my issue is they repeat the joke too much.
Got mud on your dick.
The mud on your dick and then pause. That should be like a one time.
Yeah.
Maybe once at the beginning and maybe then again at the end. They do it like 3 times in the song and then it comes back at the end of Act 1. It's like you can't do the joke this many times.
Not to go sucking Brent's dick again.
Do it.
Get to go. Suck it.
But during the Scotty's nephew song in the Con the Musical, there's a similar joke about like a pathetic person like dying, and it just lands so much better than this one because the song isn't about the death of the animal. Like, imagine if it was just that little billy goat singing, or whatever, an ox, bull, buffalo, whatever.
I think it was a buffalo.
It was buffalo.
Like that moment worked, but like the grandpa singing about mud on your dick never landed for me once.
I think that this whole thing is just, it's a little too long. They repeat the jokes. They repeat the I slipped joke like twice in this scene as well. Like,
yeah, but that works for me.
Same.
That one sort of
that
works.
That one works.
It gets
I don't
every
think
time.
the mud on your dick one doesn't work.
Just the way he slips too. He's just in a very elegant position. He's just like, oh no, I slid.
Also, isn't the mud on your dick thing, they do that something similar to that in Book of Mormon, I feel like. And they do it way better.
Maggots in my scrotum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they do it like a lot better in that one, where it's like a little funnier. Although honestly, it's still not that funny.
Most of Book of Mormon isn't that funny. You know they've rewritten Book of Mormon like since 2020, right? Like significantly.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
I'm
there's
not
been a lot more thought about some of the themes in that I feel
I think
it
we
should be
could
addressed.
do without Book of Mormon forever. I think
There's some funny gags, but
I think we should take it off Broadway. I'm a little shocked it's still on Broadway. Shoot a pro shot, lock it away, whatever, pull it off. I'm surprised it still makes as much money as it does.
I feel like it has run its course. Like
Yeah.
It was good.
For 2009 edgy humor, whatever.
It was fine. It's like we don't have Avenue Q still up, you know? Like we don't, you know.
I mean, it was off Broadway for a couple years. Like even off Broadway, I think Book of Mormon would have a better life.
They're not gonna get rid of that cash cow though. You know, sometimes it pays to be an animal. Sometimes it don't.
Don't.
Yep.
And then you wake up with mud on your dick and you don't even know where it came from.
You didn't do the pause. There has to be like a 5-second pause between those.
Yeah.
You got mud
Pause.
on your dick,
Dick!
and you don't even know where it came from.
And you have to pause every time because the audience
Except
is going
for
to
at
laugh
the end when
every
it goes
time.
further.
Yeah. The audience was not into that joke. I really like Dysentery World, but I don't know if it's just because it's leading into like the Watchers and stuff. And I really like the scene that precedes it where she gets bitten by a rattlesnake and then he sucks out the venom and accidentally swells. Like, I love the setup for this scene a lot. And I love coming out of that scene where they're burying him and he comes back to life. And the granddad's mad because they're using his coffin.
Father,
Yes?
the Watchers have chosen one of your family will die.
How? How will we die? Trench mouth?
No, dysentery.
I've looked in the eyes of certain demons.
We always watch you.
There's an underworld right underneath.
We're right behind you.
The world's a shitty, shitty place, you see. And thus we will die appropriately. It's a dysentery world.
Dysentery,
Are you boys, girls?
dysentery, like this bitch.
I feel like this section has some of the best jokes in it, just
I
like
agree.
back to back.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, you just listed like all of them, but you know, it's
But
all good.
I'm not sure if I like this song or if I just like this section of the musical a lot.
I can't remember how the song goes, so I feel like you probably just like this section of the musical a lot.
Probably, yeah.
It's fun. And I like that it sets up that someone's going to die of dysentery.
That's expected though, and I knew that was going to happen at the beginning. Although honestly, I thought that we were going to see all of them die of dysentery.
Technically, you
I
can
thought-
see them all of them die of dysentery if you look up the Star Kid Triddle Oregon playlist and you watch all the ending.
Yeah, watch every ending because it's fun to watch girls shit themselves to death on and like these things. Even like the girl pretending to be a boy is funny. I specifically like that because you don't really see scatological kind of fart humor with females like outside of like Bridesmaids and stuff. And I feel like there's more of like a subversion of the hoity-toity nature that we like to hold like women up to in fucking society. I don't know. I think it's funnier if like girls are trying not to shit themselves to death.
Quick poll though.
Yeah.
Who would you vote for if you watched the show to have shit themselves to death?
I personally would pick either of the kids
Wow. Okay.
because I think the sister-daughter, it would be funny because she kind of caused all the issues and all that. And the boy because I think it's funny because they put shit in their mouth the entire movie or the entire show. So both of those would probably be my picks.
I'd probably pick the grandfather or one of the kids. The grandfather I would maybe pick because I think he would have the funniest shitting himself to death scene.
Yeah. I picked the grandpa or the dad.
I mean, Jeff Blim sells it the most out of all
Yeah.
the playlists.
Yeah. And I think the actor who plays the grandpa is like one of the funniest because I think he could play it well. Yeah.
They don't often give him much to do when he's in other Star Kid. This is honestly probably the one where he's gotten the most to do.
Yeah, he's a pretty small role in VHS Christmas Carol too.
He's a
Just
small
recent.
role in Black Friday, small role in not a small role, but
No.
not much to do.
Supporting, yeah.
It's because he couldn't sell the mud on your dick line. They were just like,
That joke is supposed to land. It's supposed to have them in the fucking aisles. You ruined it.
Corey Doris is on a shit list. We were just not selling the mud in the dick line.
So I guess we should talk about "You Gotta Go," the deceased family member shitting themselves song.
When the darkness surrounds you and the light is all but out, there's still a fire deep inside you that will find the nearest route. It starts as a whisper, you feel a rumbling and itching at your soul. You can't hold it any longer as the urge keeps growing stronger, and then you know you gotta go, and you gotta go. Close your eyes, give it a shove. Go, you gotta go. It's time to let go of your love. The time we had together was all that I had left. Go, 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 till you can't go anymore.
I love this song.
I get it. You gotta go.
You gotta go.
It means multiple things.
Arpeggio. And they set it up earlier where he's like, it's okay if Grandpa dies, it's God's will, isn't that right? He's like, yeah, well, you gotta go, you gotta go. We're talking about the shit, all right? And then when you gotta go becomes a song. This is tight. It's tight, good playwriting, sincerely. And I don't want to undercut that by like how much I don't particularly love the songs here.
Yeah. I also really love the running gag of the son just being like, Mom, why are you trying to ask me why I constantly put things in my mouth? It's ridiculous. I have no explanation for it. I just want to put things in my mouth. And it always hits.
I feel like Lauren Lopez is probably like one of those actors you can probably give anything to and she'll probably knock it out and find the humor in it. Kind of like an Amy Poehler, where if you give her the character, she'll find the humor somehow. Like, even when she's got bit roles, like, even in Twisted, she really stands out as
yeah,
just
she has the most
fucking
famous
parrot.
line in Twisted. Why is everyone in the kingdom white?
Exactly. So, I think she's like a secret, like, sports analogy, good person, whatever. Insert that there. But who gives a fuck what I think? What is our overall thoughts on the Trail to Oregon and our cheese ratings? All right, Andrew, why don't you go first?
So I don't know. Like, I didn't not enjoy it. Like, it had its funny moments. I think I do actually like agree with you a lot on the music, Jess, where it's just all kind of Like, it's not like bad, but it's just kind of there. And possibly not that necessary, you know? But I think that I don't really love how wishy-washy they were on whether or not this is a direct parody of the game, or if they're just using elements from the game to tell jokes and doing their own original thing. I couldn't really tell, and a lot of the jokes for me just didn't really land. They were a little too juvenile, maybe? I'm not even really sure.
Very much so.
That being said, though, as I said earlier, I feel like Star Kid shows have a high floor, and even the bad ones are still kind of just fine. Like, because they're all trying, you know? They're always trying to entertain you. You never feel like this is just no one gives a shit and it sucks. You know? They're always doing they're doing their best up there on the stage. So I'm gonna give it Gorgonzola, which is I just think a really fucking funny name for a cheese. It's Gorgonzola made in Oregon. I like that. It's funny.
I agree. Liz, what about you? Your overall thoughts on your cheese rating?
I enjoyed Trail to Oregon. I think I love the writing more than I love the music on that end, because I always remember the jokes, but I never remember the songs really well, except for Pays to Be an Animal for some fucking reason, because it gets stuck in my head all the time.
It's so fucking catchy, and then you have mud on your dick, and you don't even know where it came from.
You got mud on your dick.
It lives rent-free in my head. I'm so sorry. But I think that it's weak in spots, but I enjoy it overall. It's not insanely long like some other ones. Yes. And I think the acting overall is like really good. It's some of the best Star Kid casting in general. Like, everyone is really on point. And this is my favorite Joey Richter of all of Star Kid, because he does a lot and he does it all really well. Also, he has a lot of funny bloopers you can find online because he messed up, but they're recorded.
Yes.
So there's a point where he said Mook's Hard Lemonade during a show instead of Mike's Hard Lemonade. And he forgot the words to Independence once and went, and it's a very funny clip in my opinion. But I'm going to give it I couldn't find any funny Oregon cheeses, and I can't top Andrew's, so I'm gonna go with Gouda in honor of the ranking that the AI made up.
Oh, it's a high tier. Okay.
Yes.
Guys, if you didn't know, there actually is a scale. We have it in our database.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare sully our cheese ratings like that by giving it.
It's like a 1 to 100 thing. There's 100 different cheeses, and they're all listed out. We won't tell you how it works though.
It's a secret only Juliet knew until right now when you all learned it.
Andrew, you might have to cut this, but you remember that time we had a guest on that was really frustrated that there wasn't a clear rubric for the cheese ratings? Do you remember that?
I think I do. I don't think they ever came
when we're
back
just
either.
like, just make up something. Like they're like, no, I need to know I'm doing it right, and I'm like, doesn't fucking matter.
You are doing it right if you make it up. If you don't, you're not doing it right.
Andrew's cheese rating once was a mouse in a movie. It wasn't even a cheese.
What was it? Was it Stuart Little?
No, it was the Peter Pan episode. He gave it the Tinkerbell had a mouse sidekick who had a cheese name, so he gave it that. I know that because I had to look up the mouse and crop it in Photoshop for the video. I'm like tracing this mouse for like 5 minutes straight.
Was it a good-looking mouse at least?
It was a cute-ass mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was.
That Peter Pan video is currently on YouTube if you're interested.
It's a great video. Liz needs to make more of those videos, but honestly, we need to make a podcast episode worthy of doing a video on again. That's the issue. I like the Trail to Oregon. I guess we should probably do a tier list after this, but I do think it's one of the better Star Kid shows in my opinion. I think it's a very tight. As far as playwriting construction goes, it is one of the most effective, and I think the jokes land more often than they don't. And I also feel like everyone has a moment to shine, and in a lot of the other Star Kids shows, by virtue, a lot of the very talented actors tend to fade in the back and not get much to do, and I'm happy that everyone had a lot to do this time. Yeah, I am giving it pepperoni and cheese, because I feel like there's no other choice I could really do. Pepperoni and cheese. Like a pizza.
Yeah, which is...
I remember, that was a joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
They were going to eat the body.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were eating the body.
Yep.
Yeah, that I hope that landed. Maybe it didn't.
Sometimes it pays.
Sometimes you got mud on your dick.
You don't even know where it came from.
Oh, God.
I mean, have you ever had mud on your dick, though?
Probably.
All right, Andrew, you ready to do a tier list?
Sure. You're going to have to remind me what we've even covered.
I got them up. Don't worry.
Okay, so our tier list, as everyone knows,
no S
how we
tier.
rank it. There's no S tier. It goes from Gouda down to cheddar.
Yeah. What are no, it's Gouda to Brie. Brie is the worst, apparently,
right.
for an AI.
Brie is the... No, okay.
Which is so sad.
It's A, B, C, D. That's it. D, and it's only ranked relative to the other shows. This isn't... If it's an A tier, it doesn't mean it's the greatest musical of all time. It means that it's the best on the list.
Of the choices. All right.
Okay.
So, let's start with the first one. We did Twisted.
I think Twisted is just it's an A tier by default for me. I do like that one. I think it was the one that I made me like Star Kid in the first place. It was the one that I was like, damn, this was actually pretty funny. It maybe is a little too long, but I feel like I have to put it in A.
That's fair. Then we did The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals.
I feel like I remember thinking this one was pretty good.
Yes.
So I think I'll put that into A as well, I think.
And then we did Black Friday.
This one was good too, though.
I like Black Friday a little better.
Yeah, I think Black Friday also, that's the thing. These are all kind of similar quality. So.
Then we have Holy Musical Batman with Sideways.
All right, I hate to do this but I have to put this in B, I think. I remember thinking this one wasn't as good.
Then you have A Very Potter Musical.
All right, Very Potter Musical, C? Maybe D? What else have we covered?
This would be the next one.
Is this the last one?
Yeah, so far.
I feel like I don't want to give it a D because I don't remember hating it. I just remember thinking it was lame. What do you think, Jess? Where would you put it?
I would put it in C.
You would put it in C? That's what I'm thinking as well. All right, so we're going to put it in C. And I guess Star Kid gets off without a D tier.
Well, you still got Trail to Oregon. Where's that fit?
Oh, Trail to Oregon is a B.
Above Holy Musical Batman or under?
Probably above, actually. Although, I'd have to maybe rewatch Holy Musical Batman. I guess I'm not sure.
Well,
but
they have
overall, I mean, they have very, it's a very condensed list. They don't have they don't have any like massive, like way better than everything else or anything that's like way worse than everything else that I've seen. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I think these guys have a lot that I haven't seen.
Did you guys watch Me and My Dick yet?
Nah, I mean, I've seen on my own, but
God.
Is it that bad?
it's pretty rough.
It's
Oh,
rough.
God.
It's right after Harry Potter musical, and it's about an anthropomorphic penis.
And anthropomorphic vaginas.
Yeah, who is played by Brian Holden.
And
I don't think that makes it better.
It makes it worse.
You get it because the slutty vaginas are played by bigger and uglier men, but the virgin vaginas are played by the pretty one. That show's weird.
That sounds kind of like Sausage Party.
It's very similar to Sausage Party. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Please follow us on iTunes, Spotify, and no Stitcher. Stitcher is officially gone now as of 2 days ago.
Rest in peace, Stitcher.
Where will people
God
listen
damn.
to How Did This Get Made back episodes? We'll never know.
The website, apparently.
That's stupid. Follow us on Twitter at Cheesy Musical, spelled incorrectly. I should point that out. There's an extra E in there because I wanted the word cheese. Patreon, Musicals Cheese, Instagram, Musicals Cheese, Musical Cheese, YouTube, Patreon Cheese. Email us at musicaltheorist@gmail.com. Our keeper of the cheese is Juliet Antonio. This show is edited by Andrew DeWolf, and he's doing a fucking great job, in my opinion. Really, really. I will say you went above and beyond with the Bye Bye Birdie episode, especially when I had to address Congress at the beginning. That made me laugh very, very hard. Thank you for that.
I feel like I did a pretty good job with that.
You did fantastic. We'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese. We're on the trail to Oregale. Da-na-na-na-na-na. We must unite so we can fight. Voldemort is going down. All these songs sound alike.